well, I'm going to have to do this a little bit different today because my Bluetooth controller for my camera isn't working. So, anyway, here we go. I have just been running lately, and you're trying to attain goals, yeah? Since I moved down here in Wyoming, which is where my family live and my dad is retired, it's been pretty much a challenge, but the one thing that has kept me going is my faith. And I wouldn't be where I am today without my faith. It's the only thing that's gotten me through. You know, there are some people that have to do it alone, like me. Because I grew up as an empath, I always sought the things outside myself, my parents' approval, my mom and dad's approval, which my life. If you've ever seen the movie Electra, when she's swimming in the pool and she keeps flashing back to when she's a little girl, and she's in the pool and she's trying to hold her breath as long as she can, and she's kicking as long as she can, and she's going, and her dad comes out and says, push, push, push. You have to go harder. Come on, Alexa. That's not the best you can do. Push, push, push. That's my life. Excuse me. So, people want to push me down when I say this, but I come from a very dynamic family. What I mean by a dynamic family is I come from a family of very high achievers. So, my brother has worked very hard in his life. He actually is a world-renowned engineer. He's traveled all over the world and been in charge of production teams that put stuff out in Ireland and in Norway and Russia. So he has always been able to maintain his vibration at a higher vibration. And, you know, he has always kept his eyes on the goal. So the difference between us is the love and support that we received growing up, which is completely different. And I'm not here to knock my mom, or I'm not starting this out this morning to say, oh, poor woe me. But I'm just saying we didn't have the same kind of love. We didn't have the same kind of support. Where mom would go out and buy his friends alcohol, if I got caught drinking, I'd get kicked out of the house. People don't understand that. They don't understand that abandonment that you get when you go through that. But I overcame that. And I was actually extremely successful, always, in my adult career path. I had to do it harder because I didn't want to go to college. I dropped out of high school. The last year I finished was 9th grade. I went and got my GED. And at the time I was a state award of the state here because my parents had put me up as a ward of the state. I want to say I was 16 then. But the legal age to be an adult here in Wyoming is 19 at the time. So my probation officer at the time said, look, I had failed a drug test for marijuana. And he tried to say, you're going to give up the people who gave you your drugs or you're going to prison. And of course my foster mom at the time said, you're not going to violate her rights to privacy. That was the first moment that I understood that we have a choice. We have a choice to sit there, simply go along, or we have a choice to stand up and fight for what we believe in. And sometimes all that fight is saying, no, you're violating my right to privacy. He had no right to say that to me. He had no right to try and force me to roll over on the people who gave me my weed, which I didn't get caught with. I just had a dirty UA. I was 17 at the time. So I went to Job Corps. And in Job Corps, I got my GED. I didn't have to take any classes. you take an aptitude test when you go in, and I passed the aptitude test, so they gave me my GED. Shortly after that, I got my CNA, Certified Nursing Assistant, and then because the guy I liked, sources always outside myself, was in transmission shop. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go take a United Auto Worker shop. That way I had the same schedule. I've always scheduled myself around other people. I've always geared my life around what other people are doing. So the first really setback that I had in my life as an adult was when I worked at Sunrise Assisted Living. You know, when I started there, they have a thing that's called a Gallup review. It's an international review board. And they send stuff anonymously to your employees, and they send stuff anonymously to the staff members that you oversee. And when I got there, their scores were C's, D's, and F's. And they had maintained that for years. Okay? That was just the bottom line. And if anybody knows me, they know that the bottom line isn't good enough for me. Never has been. Even when I didn't believe in myself, it wasn't good enough. Definitely isn't good enough now. Yeah? So, it's humbling for me, you know? Beauty is fleeting. And as you get older, it's a lot harder to maintain, ladies. Take care of your skin when you're younger. I mean, I look good for 48, but had I known what I know now, I might still look like that little hottie Desi that's a part of my mentor team. Wow. So, I don't know. We always can see somebody in doing what we want, okay? They can help us stay on track. They can help us say, hey, you know what, they're where I want to be. And so then you watch their life. You see what they do. Darren Gibson. That dude's on fire. And of course, Jake, I think it's Pardon. And of course, Danny Turner, my buddy. That's my first level mentor, Danny Turner. And these guys don't mess around. You either get it together or they aren't going to waste their time. And that's where I've learned this. This is where I have learned. And thank you, Libby Heiser. If you're not going to pick up a brick and help me carry it, you're going to have to get out of the way, man. I got stuff I'm doing. Last year I didn't make enough of my business. This year, so if that's that, I literally have tripled my income just this year from last year. Okay? Tripled my income. Working my butt off, having faith. And now I'm being refined. Now I'm being fine-tuned by these people who, well, by me, by God foremost, but I've made the choice because they're doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah? If you want something more, you have to give something more. And I woke up this morning, my normal routine is I wake up, go potty, make a pot of coffee, get all my internet set up, go out, smoke a cigarette, and I don't smoke anymore, just so you know. And then I go back in and I meditate. I usually listen to Abraham Hicks. I've found her to be extremely enlightening. Oh, sorry. Little colder, so my nose is running. A little chilly. Beautiful morning. You see the sun. So, I did run about a quarter mile this morning. I walk, and then I run, and then I catch my breath, and then I run, and then I catch my breath, and I run. So, but I'm trying to get comfortable speaking on the camera so I can be myself. So that's why I'm here. There are, how bad do you want what you're doing? This thing that I'm doing right now was not made up by me. It's been fragments and little bits and pieces, that I've picked up along the way since I was a little girl. And I just remember them along the way. You can do anything you want to do. You just have to believe that you can do it. And when people say, no, 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 you say, yes, 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 I'm doing it, man. Sit back and watch me. Watch. And then you go do it. I would not be doing what I'm doing without God, man. I wouldn't be doing it. For those who don't believe in God, it is not a man on a cloud. It's the very fabric of the universe. It's everywhere at all times and all things, omnipresent. That's what the Bible says. If you think about it, that's what God is. Some call it he, she, it. But it is a frequency. It is a power. It is a power that creates worlds. That power is right there inside of you. That power is asking you, are you going to get up today? Or are you going to sit back and drink coffee and sit online? Now, I've not failed myself completely. I do get up and I meditate, but I've not been working out like I want to. My own mind gets in the way of what are people going to think, because I'm not where I want to be. And I let that stop me, and that has put me back. This literally put me back 2 years. But there's no better place to start than now. So I'm going to tell you a story about how God moves. Okay? And then how you can recognize it. And what it is to have faith and stand in it. When everything else and every single person in your life says it ain't going to happen. No. My word of advice for those people is just cut them off. Get them out. You don't need that. You do not need somebody telling you what you cannot do when you're trying to do it. You'll be defeated right out the door. So, I was, 14 years old. And a bunch of kids said, hey, let's skip school. Let's go to the mall. And so we said, all right, we're going to skip school and go to the mall. So I went to the mall. Got on the city bus. Colorado Springs is where I lived at the time. Colorado. Got on the bus. Went to the mall. We're having fun. And then 2 of those girls wanted me to shoplift for them. They wanted me to put cassette tapes at the time in my purse. And I said, no way. I knew better. I was raised with integrity. We don't steal. So, I gave him my purse. Well, I left. I went off. I wasn't going to be a part of it. So I went shopping and got my own stuff. And I had got up to the register to pay. And I was paying. I didn't know where they were. And this gal, Valerie, at the time, came right up around to the cash register and said, here's your purse. Well, of course, I don't know if you understand, but when somebody hands you something, your mind's pre-going and you're on all about your reflex is just to take whatever they give you. And I did. And I didn't think anything of it. I was counting back the change, getting my receipt. So I started walking out of Kmart. And that was when a man had stopped me, and I looked ahead, and there was Pam and Valerie running down the mall. And I got busted. Because she handed me back the fucking purse. Well, let me just say that changed the entire course of my entire life. After doing a bunch of shadow processes, I go back and I see, hey, where was that trust broke, man? Where did the dynamics of that relationship change between my parents and I? When did that happen? That's when it happened. Nothing was ever the same after that. They never trusted me. They thought I lied. They thought I was a thief. My brother would bury fifths of Southern Comfort in the backyard. In my dad's strawberry garden, no less. And then, of course, when my dad goes out to care for his garden, he digs down and tink, tink, tink. What the heck is this? Oh, it's a half-drink bottle of Southern Comfort. Must be Tracy's. And they believed it so much that in sometime after my son was born, he was born in 2001, my brother had come home for Christmas. This is after he got married. He did get to come home for Christmas, and they gave me a bottle of Southern Comfort as a wrapped present, as a gag gift. That's how much they believed it. But I didn't do it. So that is how we do different things, you know. Sorry, I got my mind sidetracked trying to wait for the crosswalk. But anyway, so I ended up having to do community services. And so I chose to be a little candy striper at a senior home. And so that's where I had my first job. Volunteering is in a senior home, nursing home. And I got to scoop up ice cream, and I got to spend and play with the seniors. A lot of fun. That's when I grew to love seniors. One thing I didn't like in that facility is that it smelled like pee. Because instead of taking their dirty underwear, excuse me, I'm sorry, that's not very attractive. My nose is running. But they wouldn't throw them away. They would just put them in the trash can. They wouldn't take them out of the room. They wouldn't take them out of the facility so many times per day to keep that smell from happening. And I told my manager at that time, 14 years old, one day I am going to run a senior facility where old people live. I didn't know any of the terminology at that time. And I am going to make sure that it doesn't smell like pee. Because I couldn't stand that. It was appalling to me that these seniors that had lived all their life, sacrificed everything they had, were living in a home that smelt that way. So, years went on. I went through my whole juvenile debacle. And as I became an adult, I worked in juvenile corrections, and then I was transferred over and worked in the adult integration facility. I went up and trained and helped transfer over and train all the new employees from CAC over to Frontier Corrections. That was in 2003 or 2001. But in 2003 we moved down to New Mexico, where I became an assisted living coordinator. Now, it really wasn't looking good for me to get that job because I really didn't have the experience, but I was trying for something that was outside of my comfort zone, you know? I've always tried for more. You know what I mean? I've always tried for more. I've always wanted more. I've always enjoyed what I have, smelling the flowers along the way, but I always wanted to better my life. I've always wanted to rise above where I am. And right now I have a massive goal. Massive goal. We're not going to talk about that today. We're talking about how manifestation works in our lives. So, when I got down there, I got a job right away working as an assisted living coordinator for a place called Residential Resorts. Well, in doing all their state billing, I found that they were doing and committing hundreds of thousands of dollars in fraud. And of course, being the person that I am, that was not okay. Now, mind you, I had 6 group homes and about 26 clients. Most of those clients were part of this thing called the Jackson class lawsuit. Okay? What the Jackson class lawsuit is, they had the state hospital down in New Mexico where back in the day, if you had a kid that was disabled or had any type of disability, you could put them and send them to this place and they would live there and take care of them. They would do that also with people with mental problems, people that were insane, schizophrenia, stuff like that. But so I had quite a few clients that were part of that lawsuit. But the people at the hospital were raping and filing fraud on the state funds. And like for years, 10, 20 years, these people were being raped. Like old people, paraplegics. Yeah, I mean, it was no good. So I had inherited some of these residents. And so when I started doing the billing and I found that fraud, there was no way that I was going to be able to sit by and allow something like that to happen. So I went to my boss, not the owner of the company. Lisa Brielle, if you're out there and you hear this, girl, you call me. That was my boss. But they said, we were wondering how long it was going to take you. Well, it was my first billing. Tracy's no dummy. I ain't no fool. Okay, so I ended up getting fired from that. I had to give a 8-hour deposition with the prosecuting attorney. So did Lisa, and so did Doug. Okay, my co-partner, he was another coordinator there. And they ended up shutting him down. And a different place that was a bigger company, now I can't remember the name of it, they went down and took over. But I was already fired. And I was a single mom. I had just moved down there. I was just trying to get my own place. I was staying with my parents. And if anybody knows, my mom and I are like vinegar and oil. Love that woman. She's absolutely brilliant. But she's stuck in herself. And we see things very differently. But she's a beautiful, kind-hearted, just amazing soul. So anyway, I kept applying for jobs everywhere. I applied to Sunrise Assisted Living. Went for an interview. And of course my mom had always been in the corporate world, so she says, look, if you want to earn $1 million, you gotta look $1 million. So I went out and bought a new suit, and man, I look good. I was, how old was I? 32 at the time, man. 32. 48 now. It's a long time in between. So, I became a coordinator, long story short, at Sunrise Assisted Living. My mom's like, before that happened, because I'd read my Bible every night. Read it every morning when I woke up. I wanted something different, yeah. I wanted something different. I had to do something different. So she kept saying, she was very sick. My grandma died that December 3rd, 2003. And my mom was like, where's your God? She never really raised us on faith. I never had. We didn't learn about God from my mom. I learned about God from God. And the Bible says, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if your family casts you out. Everyone casts you out. I'm here. I'll be your father. I'll be your leader. Follow me and I'll show you the way. So really, I knew to look at myself then and pray and be quiet. But I was still looking outside for all of the physical proof that God heard me. Like the man on the mountain. I used this in another analogy video yesterday. The man on the mountain, help God. He's on an island in the mountain. He can't get off. Help me. Oh man, God sends a helicopter. No, I'm waiting for God. He's coming. Oh, okay. Well, God sends freaking search and rescue. Oh no, God's coming. I'm waiting for God. You're going to pass up your opportunities. I am so sorry. That's so gross. You're going to pass up your opportunities. Okay? If you're waiting on what the world says God is, you have to find God in yourself for yourself. You cannot listen to no one else. Not your mom, not your dad, not your pastor, not the church. You find God yourself. They can only show you the way. They're just words. Okay? People tell you words. It's up to you to go find the reality of it. Okay? So I went into my... This is like the 4th interview. Do you want to come back? I thought, if they don't offer me this job, I'm not going back ever again. They're wasting my time. Okay? I donated that Sunday my last $20 to the church for tithe, because I knew that when you step out in faith, God moves every time. Sometimes it's not instantly, but every time. I promise you, when you step out in faith, God is going to move. And it is never in the way that we expect it or think it should be. So, that morning I left the house. Well, you better do something. You know, where's your God? I'll never forget that. Where is your God, Tracy? You sit in there reading that Bible every morning and every night. Where is your God? I see nothing happening. Where is your God? Well, I went to that meeting. And Leslie Pollock, the lady who hired me, she gave me this letter. Now, mind you, I had gone from like an $11 an hour job, okay, when I moved up to, or down to New Mexico, and then I got a 13-hour job with residential resorts. I thought that was great. I was being ripped off, really. And so I got that letter, and that cover letter was for $45,000 a year. Full benefits. Full benefits. I will never forget walking back into my mom's kitchen, and she is sitting there. She makes the best green chili stew ever. But she's eating a bowl of green chili. And I was like, hey Mom, look at what I got. And I went and set that letter down in front of her. I says, look, here is my God. And of course I'm melodramatic, so I'm pointing at the paper. Here's my God. This is what my God does. Okay, so for $13 an hour, which is, I don't know, roughly 32 maybe, I think, a year. I'd have to do the math again. I could be completely off. To earning $45,000 a year. And as a single mom in America, that's damn good. Especially back then. So, that's what God does. Okay? You have to be patient. You have to keep putting in the work. You have to keep reading the Bible. Okay, if that's what it was for me. It doesn't have to be that for you, just so you know. But that's what it is for me. I got to keep the power of the Holy Spirit alive. And God speaks to me through His Word. It's like I can read the Bible, which a lot of people don't give any respect to anymore because of our current situation in the church. But that is a religious document that has been around for thousands of years. You cannot deny the knowledge and the Holy Spirit that's inside of that. You can't. It's power. The Bible teaches us to live like Jesus Christ, to become one with God. Okay? Follow Jesus Christ. Become like Jesus Christ. Okay? Now, the people that don't believe in God, they cast all of that out, all the knowledge, all of everything, and they are missing the one key factor. Okay, for all the people that believe in different religions and everything, I respect all religions. I believe that there is truth in all religions, okay? But, the difference is the Christ or the chrism, Christ consciousness, okay? God consciousness. That's the difference. You can understand the power. You can understand everything and not possess it. Okay, you can understand everything and not learn how to work with it. Everybody has the abilities to do that. Everybody has empathetic gifts. Every single person. I am not special. I just stand in mine. Okay, I don't think I'm better than anybody. And anybody that has looked at you and said that and then gotten to know me, that they know that that's not how I am. I get all kinds of apologies from people misjudging me when they finally get to know me. I have high standards because I'm going to places that most people can't go. Okay? And so I can't allow all the drama. I can't allow people that only want to go out and party, okay, to be around, because that is a lower vibration. Man, I don't want that in my life. I don't want that in my life. I want people who are going on the same path, yeah. I want people who are going on the same path. So, that is the power of God. Have faith, push through, do your homework, get up early. So today, instead of having a cigarette or coffee, I'm out here running and out here walking because I want real changes. And I want to make a difference in my town. And I want to help people apply what they do. And now I've learned how to cast aside all doubt. When you have friends that get jealous and they come up against you and try and ruin your business to show you what you're not, that's how you know you're doing shit right. So you keep going. Keep trucking. That's how it works. Morning. That guy's on a mission. Literally the only person that's ever out here. I've never seen anybody out here before. No one ever uses this path this far out. We are way out. Farms all the way. I love my town. If you're thinking about moving, man, Wyoming is the place. Don't bring the bureaucratic bullshit. These people don't play. Okay? The county that I live in alone is number 4 in the nation for the most registered guns. And we're one of the smallest counties in the country. So, these cowboys don't mess around. This is a very conservative state. A lot of libertarians live here. It's not conservatives. And I don't like to talk about politics, but anyway. Thank you guys for coming today and listening to this. Please hit like and share. Or hit a comment if you just send a little smiley face. Or put a heart to let me know what condition your heart is this morning. What color is your heart in the color spectrum? What color is your heart? So, we are going. But I'm doing some new things, and I am investing money in places that are going to make me money. And for those of you that know, I am moving and working to be a millionaire. Okay? And it's not just for me so I can go sit on a yacht on the ocean, which will be one of the first things that I do, but it's not why. It's for you. It's for the other people in my area who hear me, who understand me, who are sick of themselves, and who are ready to put in the time and the true grit that it takes to do what I'm doing. Okay? I've built my own small business. I have reputable clients. I have things that are happening in my life. And all because I trusted God. I trusted in the abilities that I have. I removed people from my life when they began to impede and bring me down. And that was hard to get over for a while because I love people, especially my friends. When they don't cooperate, then they want to bring drama and go out and party and not be healthy. I don't want that. I'm a healthy person. I'm not there anymore. I don't even have things in common. I wish I did, because they're beautiful souls. But I'm not out to dance on bars, yeah? I'm here to take down the bars of my prison, and I'm here to help you get rid of the bars of your prison. So anyways, all, have a great day. You got to reset your script, yeah? Reset the script.